Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. It's a delight and an honor to serve you. I'm going to do the weekly check-in, which is usually the Sole Purpose Saturday. It's a weekly inspirational sermon, and there's some changes and announcements coming around, so let me just check in with you for the briefing. I want to just acknowledge the malevolent forces that are around trying to block the technical situation. It's not even a Mercury retrograde or anything like that. For me personally, Serene Priestess Gorgeous, Uranus moved into my 6th house, so the daily repetitive routines are going to have knee-jerky Uranus, out of the blue, sudden, rapid, clunkety, spazzy type of energy. So it's a working meditation. So we're gonna have just a moment while people are getting in the room. I'm gonna change my internet settings so that we don't get interrupted mid-channel, and then I'm gonna come back and brief us all, and we're gonna jump into the messages, and I'll talk to you in just a quick sec. Give me one moment, please. Pardon the rock motion, it'll be gone in a moment. Just gonna breathe in blessings, exhale gratitude, breathe in blessings, exhale up. Okay. All right. So, okay, it's good to giggle about it because else, you'd be pulling your hair out. So, hi everyone. Hello, great family. I hope you're well and blessed. Bless you and your ancestors for bringing you here. Bless the journey that you're on, the medicine that you bring, the path that you're walking. I honor you. I praise you. I thank you. Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And okay, so whether you know or you don't know, I've been publishing the readings, and I call them simulations, and really come to the Mystery School if you want to know about that. And Mystery School's open. We're doing late enrollment, and it's really easy to catch up, and it won't be like that after December 22nd. According to Anubis and Sekhmet, we really have to. Okay, so that being said, the tableau that I'm using, the collective guidance through the month and the lodge briefing that I'm using, is tableau number 16. So if you want to just check the show notes, go ahead and help yourself to that. Also, the temple website, the membership website, we're not going to be doing memberships until the winter solstice, because that's really when we're going to go private with a lot of the things that we're doing, because there's some high level work going on. We're literally doing Orisha work. I wouldn't say it that way, but we're working with the primordial and ancient spirits, and it's not typical tarot. So after December 22nd, the membership site's going to be around, and until then, you're going to get a lot of free content, so don't get butthurt or throw a tantrum when it goes away, because you've been warned. So you'll see a lot of briefing really quick on the Vertex of Abundance YouTube channel, and either a click over to Priestess Gorgeous or click into a private video. And after December, there's going to be like a small nominal fee for that. It'll be like $1.99 per video, or just if you're part of the temple membership, it'll be open to you. So go ahead and abreast yourself of the information, abreast yourself of the services, what's going on. For the interim, there is a new website, but it's not like a content website. It doesn't have the Gnostic library, it doesn't have the occult library. The Biblioteca is not there. But it's a scheduling website. So if you want to know what services are available, if you want to know what we offer, if you want to know who I am, what I am, all that fun stuff, the link is in the show notes. So help yourself to that. And again, like I said, I just want to honor you, and I want to praise you. I want to thank you for your continued support. We are on Ratchet Protocol. I'm going to share about that in a personal briefing. And it's more of like, progress is better than perfection. So the nitpicky little perfectionist has got to take a back seat and just get it done, get her done, get in there and get the messages out. So I'll try to circle back around to that in the briefing here, because there's some shadow elements that are coming through I want to talk to you about. And the fascinating thing about that is my madrina was telling me, around end of October, all through November, it's the caca month. It's the devil month of the year. And I have my own Ifa house, but I belong to a voodoo house as well. And I run an Ifa house, but I belong to a voodoo house. And my madrina said to me, we call November the devil month. And it's like a perpetual month long Scorpio full moon where, death, decay, destruction, diminishment, dilution, degradation, distortion, all that kind of shadow shit happens. And I'll do my best to like prepare us all for that. It's not my job, but I'll be out in front for the tribe, if you know what I mean. So I just want to again like honor you and praise you and thank you for dealing with the ratchet protocol and dealing with the messiness and the splotchiness and the sporadicness and the all over the placeness. And it takes all of us for any of us to get what we need out of this place. I know comments are not open, but I want to thank you. I want to honor you. I want to praise you for all of your support. So, I'm gonna offer something, and I'm just going to say this in a way that can remove me from. I'm not stepping up to the plate in terms of responsibility. I'm allowing you to email me. If you have suggestions for the channel, questions for the channel, go ahead and email or call at vertexofabundance.org. I don't have an assistant right now, and the temples are not central. We're three temples in one. There's a San Bernardino arm, there's a Seattle arm, and there's me here in Portland. And I'm the one doing the old world Egyptian Kemetan type of work. We have some fairies, elven technology to the north of us, and we have some curanderisma, Mayan, Aztec, Quetzalcoatl kind of work to the south of us. And there's great things on the way. Again, in the shadow briefing, I'll share about like when spiritual eyes are on you and people are like prying into your affairs and trying to bogart on to what you got going on because they're leeches and they're parasitic and they can't find and create their own light and they want to suck up yours. So I let's get into the messages today, but I feel like Chatty Cathy. Okay, so maybe the Priestess Tea Time will be coming out soon and all that kind of fun stuff. Soul Purpose Saturday is about spirit, karma, life, past destiny. And the temple itself is about finding your light in the darkness. But spirit, karma, life, past destiny is about going with the flow in a way where you can be neutrally detached and observant of the experience and align with what resonates with you and unalign with what doesn't resonate with you and allow all experiences, also called emotions, energy, emotion, to impress upon you, deliver the message they came to deliver, and release them. So that's what life is all about. We like to give life labels and say good and bad and ooga booga, and people are good or bad, assign, blame, vilify, make people wrong, right? And that's, to me, mislabeling, misjudging, misperceiving. And that'll help your soul be free. Now, it doesn't matter who the ooga booga boogeyman is in your life, because somebody may literally be the face of your problems. But, little secret, it's still your responsibility to do the work. And I don't like it when we're in situations where a person is like, ooga booga, I'm wounded, somebody's responsible, it's not me. Girl, I don't know what's alive in you that attracted that experience to you, but if you don't want to take an inventory of yourself, I'm out of nice words to say. So, that attention class, that's really what the story is about. When I was 17, I had a spiritual mentor. My mentor at the time said to me, you climb one mountain, then you climb the next, and then you climb the next, and then you climb the next. And I don't want to make it seem like it's a marathon, but that's the situation. You win the race when you go back home, and home is in another realm. It's not here, okay? Until the, revelation happens and the epiphany happens, it's really like, that's what life is about. You raise your vibration, you raise your vibration, and you raise your vibration, and you raise your vibration, and then you're done, but you're done when you're not here. And so if you stop and you think you're good, that's that whole spiritual egotism. If you think you're spiritual by judging people who aren't vegan and you're judging them because they're not vegan, but you are, that ain't spiritual. If you're judging people because you ride a bike to work and they use a gas guzzling, carbon emitting machine and you judge, and you judging McJudgerson, you ain't spiritual. Look at me in my Jerry Springer black girl chicken neck, right? So let's get on up in here. This message is from, I'm going to say it, like if we were in ancient Egyptian times, it would be from the Pharaoh. And I'm going to say it's like Shango or Jupiter. It's like, Jesus. And it's all about, it's going to bring in what we need to detox. So release, 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 release. And the guide, the guidance is to learn what spiritual technologies you can leverage. And to me, atheism and science is Satanism. If you're an atheist, you're a scientist, and if you're a scientist, you're a Satanist. And for those who want to cry about what I said, Satanism is the false mother. Luciferianism is the false father. And we can go into depth, but people pay me for that, so join the mystery school. And the guidance around that is, even if you don't consider yourself spiritual, it would be your belief systems. So I always say, your thoughts affect your feelings affect your results. And if you cannot change your thoughts, it's really a product of your belief system. And you can change your beliefs, but if you think you can't, what it is your conditioning and programming. And this is what this is. Mother, daddy, teacher, preacher. And if you somehow got broken and you don't want to take responsibility for that wounding, this is where your work begins. And when your beliefs change, your thoughts change. When your thoughts change, your feelings change. When your feelings change, your actions change. And when your actions change, your results change. Decisive, massive decisive action, massive decisive new action creates a new energy. 2 weeks of different behavior will literally anchor in a new energy. 3 weeks and it's a whole new cycle, girl. Boyfriend, girlfriend, homeboy, sweetie, whatever. So that's where we're gonna begin. And my findings is the Seven of Cups. That's Yemaya energy, and that's this whole Venus in retrograde thing. So wanting to harmonize, wanting to cooperate, wanting to collaborate, wanting to cultivate the depths of the soul. And Seven of Cups is conjuring up. So it's the conjuring, yearning, wishing, praying, hurting from a previous whatever. And it's that stuck energy of like, I'm overwhelmed because I can't align with my energy vibration. So, okay, well, Spirit doesn't want me going into a coaching session. Okay, so Seven of Cups. If you're getting Seven of Cups a lot right now in your divination, all the way to the end of the Libra cycle, when the sun goes into Scorpio, even 2 weeks into that, listen to me carefully. First of all, Yemaya. So you may call Yemaya Mamewata. You may call Yemaya Imonja. You may call Yemaya Isis. Don't matter, don't care. Nut. Moot. Doesn't matter, don't care. The mother of all creation, the womb of this universe, the Milky Way galaxy. Okay. The universal matrix, the one before the devil came and gave you this fake Luciferian, lost on some demon dick shit. Really what it is how this universe works. That's what the Seven of Cups is. So let me tell you, your belief turns into a burning desire, turns into physical energy. So your thought vibration is actually the frequency that is calling upon the universe to co-create with you. So if you believe it, to you, it's true. And that's the Seven of Cups. People want to say other things. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take some lizard-looking motherfucker to tell me how the universe works. Okay? So all these people out there talking whatever these cards mean, you sound stupid to me. Let's get to business. Seven of Cups means you are overwhelmed emotionally because you cannot find out what to align with. You have too many options and you don't know how to pour your cups out and take an inventory. That's what it means. It means get to business, what's alive in you. Get to business, what do you want? Get to business, figure out what to focus on. Seven of Cups is a conjure card. So if these thought forms are the frequency that's creating your reality, how does that technology actually work in the physical here in the new world with all this little trumpety-dumpety distraction, propagandized Kanye smoking crack shit. How does this work? Well, let me tell you. There's a difference between emotions and feelings. Okay, so feelings are physical sensations or the body's reaction instinct. Not even that. Feelings different than emotions. Feelings are thoughts. Thoughts can be controlled. Emotion is kind of like pain. Feelings are kind of like suffering. Suffering is a choice. Pain is inevitable. So emotions are energy in motion. It impresses upon the soul. Believe it or not, the astral body, the emotional body, is the real incarnation. That's the true Jesus energy. That's the true Christ energy. The physical body, that's the whole lower matrix. Okay. So energy, emotion, that's what's coming at your heart chakra. And if your beliefs allow you to accept those things as true, then you begin to resonate with that energy. It's like karma. You cannot, you cannot, you cannot experience karma if you're not in the same vibration in which it was created. What'll happen is it'll come to you, it'll give you information. This homeboy's messing up. This homeboy's stepping out. This homeboy I can't align with no more. This homeboy got a bunch of games to play. This little hyena over here got some whole little drama story. I ain't got time for that. Bye, Felicia. Right? And what happens? 3 days later, 3 minutes later, 3 hours later, 3 weeks later, it's gone. The cycle's over. It had no place to land. Right? Energy, emotion, emotions, energy, emotion. If it comes to you, into your aura, you either align with it, meaning you accept it as true, or you unalign with it, which means you say that's not in alignment with my values. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't feel good to me. That doesn't resonate with me. And it moves out. If you don't declare that you are God, sovereign, and free, it does not pass the authenticity meter. Too much time spending these little games, walking around, looking outside of yourself for answers, for affirmations and alignment. You got to give it to yourself. In the Scorpio month with this Venus retrograde, you're going to get the lesson. It is inevitable. It is not a question. Are you going to go with the flow? You're going to get with the program. You're going to sit there and miss the boat yet again and going to look to everybody else to try to, assign blame? Or kick the can down the road and still not get the clue. Because here's the situation now in 18? The joke's on you. You don't want to be the last one to know the story of your life, because what will be happening is people will be taking your soul, your spirit, your goodies, your ashe, your energy, your autonomy, franchise, and control. They'll be enjoying it and you won't. I don't need to be mean here. Maybe I'm just the spiritual Captain Buzzkill. Yes, that's true. Saturn in the first house. You're welcome. Okay. That's where this whole thing begins. Over the next week, you're going to have opportunities to look at where your conditioning and program has wounded you and either align with it or unalign with it. And it's up to you. You make the choice in the moment to have a neutral, detached observation. Let the energy, emotion, the emotions, experience them and not be affected by them. And that's it. The channel was too hot. That's what that was. Be affected by it if you want. Don't be affected by it if you want. It's really up to you. And see, the story is what you make it. So if you think you're wounded and the world's against you, that's what it is. And that's very true for you. And that's the world you're going to create. When 2020 comes around and the revelation comes around, we'll all be living in the spiritual. We'll be stepping into our light body. And those who choose to stay behind will be stuck in the matrix. And the way that works is literally, we will see the firmament disappear. We will start to see the 3 moons in the sky and all the planets circling around. Right? And then certain souls will be trapped. They'll be hung up on trees. They'll be stuck in bottles. They'll be hung upside down, literally like the hangman. And they'll be in what's called the matrix. They'll be plugged into some type of gray technology, some type of virtual reality, some type of technical implanting into them. And their energy bodies will not be able to get past any type of technologies. And then those who can think higher vibrational thoughts, can feel higher vibrational energies, they will be able to say, okay, well, this is the technology coming to me and I'm going to release it. Technology is information, it's light, or it could be fake technology, matrix. I don't have nice things to say right now, but you know, you have a melanin rejective, a melanin recessive being. It doesn't need to be a white person, but you have a melanin rejective, a melanin recessive being. New world fakery, Luciferian devil shit. And then you have a melanin dominant being, God. Hear and take what you want from that explanation. You have the moon, the matrix, the fuckery. You have the sun, the gate to heaven. Okay, so you're going to choose to be your own source of light, the sun, consciousness, action, sun, or you're going to choose to be the moon, reaction, subconscious. Okay? You can react to life or you can respond to life, and it's really up to you. Nothing at all is happening to you. It is all happening for you. And in the end, no one's going to be at your funeral saying, here lies Mr. Motherfucker and what they almost did. It's going to be, here's the legacy they leave behind. Here's the story that we're telling. Here's the example that we're following. Rest in peace. And let's hope it's not the actual rest in peace that the colonizer, Anunnaki, demonic fourth dimensional prison warden gave you. And that would be, rest in peace. May you eternally be divided from your spirit and your soul. May they forever be in two. One in a bottle, stuck in the matrix, and the other one floating around with no memory of who they are, and where they came from, and the glory that God gave you. Let's get to work. So this story, this journey starts out in the Strength House, and the guidance is 5 of Wands. So the first thing to do is to understand that they're going to try to polarize you. They're going to try to polarize your energies. They're going to try to distract you. They're going to try to split you open and divide you from your power. And they want you to be giving your resources, emotions, thought vibrations to something. 5 of Wands, there are legitimate agendas at play designed to strip you of your spiritual power, period. And that's where the story begins. And my guidance then would always be to walk away. Walk away. If you feel you need to compete, if you feel you need to explain yourself, if you feel you need to justify your existence in the space, if you are being told we're holding space for you, or I got you, or you my nigga, you my dog, you my hyena, you my bitch, you my best friend, you my this, you my that. If it ain't authentic, if it ain't a flow, it ain't a go. Do not, my dear, explain yourself to people who are only invested in misunderstanding you. If a person really wants to feel you, if a person really wants to fuck with you, here's how it's going to work, okay? They will have the belief in their heart that you are trying to do better, and that you will do better when you know better. If the first thing they see is shadow, if the first thing they see is fuckery, if the first thing they want to do is tear you down, assign a negative label to you, and vilify you and paint you as the bad guy, if what they look at you and see is some weak, broken, vulnerable target. And see, this Venus retrograde, this whole Scorpio month coming on up on us is going to show us. It's going to come to the surface. You know, this whole thing about Jupiter being in Scorpio as well, things from the depths of the collective are coming to the surface. The fuckery, look at Trump. The fuckery, look at whatever his name is, a little judge motherfucker trying to do this dumb shit. All this little rape shit, Me Too, all this other shit. It's disgusting, but we need to know. It's about damn time that we know about it, ain't it? Right? So now the next part of the story is the strength, courage, and wisdom that we need to figure out what's going on, because we're running out of patience, we're running out of time, we're losing hope, faith, and optimism. And really what it is a long-time goal, it's a long-term goal, and it's really been a long time coming. And the way that works is when we learn how to stand in our power, when we know how to put our foot down, declare our truth, and give no fucks about the little cunt rat bitch who wants to talk some shit about it. That's when we're ready to get to business. That's when we're ready to begin the game. That's when we're actually living our life. That's how it works. If you're still spending time asking permission to be who you are, no. Fail. There's no nicer way to say that. Yes, I'm being spiritual by telling you the truth. If you think you need to spend your time justifying your existence to another motherfucker who just wants to tear you down, you're not ready to compete in this game. And you have to compete to win the game. I don't want to compete. I don't want to. The game of life, you get in the game and you win the game. There is no alternative. Now, you don't compete with other people on ego-based modalities to prove who you are or justify who you are. Your power, the ability to stand in the truth of who you are while you're here, your divinity and your truth, if you can stand in that, that's competition enough. So when someone comes around you in your space trying to tear you down from where you are, remember something. If a motherfucker's trying to tear you down, it means he's already beneath you. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Point blank, period. If a motherfucking bitch is trying to tear you down, let me tell you, she is beneath you. It should be evident. So the next part of the strength, courage, and wisdom. Strength, courage, and wisdom. In the Hangman house. If your spirit, if your soul hasn't got that clue yet, something's out of alignment. So the next part of the story, and I know this is shots fired. You're welcome. So, aha. Because it's like, that's the truth. That's the truth you need to know. And it's been coming to you. It might have been 3 months. It might have been the last 3 moon cycles that the universe has been trying to tell you this. But if somebody's trying to tear you down, it means they're already beneath you. And this aha moment, that's the mystery to be solved. What is it about you that makes mother effers go ooga booga and run away and scared, or go behind your back and lie about you, or try to tear you down, steal your job, steal your man, steal your money, come buddy up to you, pretend to be your friend just to figure out what your secret is so they can go behind your back and rip your life apart. All of that fuckery. All of that. That's the whoop-de-doo aha moment. It's not really the aha moment like the judgment card, but that's the mystery being revealed. The growth, the renewal, the vitality, the reinvigoration will be when the depths of your soul are no longer ooga booga scary to you, and you have the wherewithal, the strength, courage, and wisdom to confront what's alive in you. There should be no problem being who you are, your authentic, true self. And if that inner child can't fit into the space, drop a bomb, don't drop the mic, throw the mic. Beat a bitch with it. Now, this little secret, I know I'm coming hard for you, and I ain't done yet. I'm just getting started. So we're fighting demons. They don't want us to change the world. But here's how it works. Your spirit is enough to... Okay, stop moving around, dear. Please and thank you. It was not a request. I don't like the tilt. Okay, there we go. So the confrontation here is your path. That's what these agendas are. People don't want you on your path. They don't want you out there putting light. They don't want you being the brightest light in the darkest place. They don't want you shining light on their drama mean story, because they're leeches, they're parasites, they're vampires, they're demons, they're lizard people. They're lambs trying to tell a lion how to be passive. And it don't work. There's a syntax error. Does not compute. Girl, your math is off. Smoking some crack, stinking ass thinking, get up out the space. It's like a spiritual squatter. They don't want the landlord to do a site inspection. And so what are they going to do? They're going to throw acid in your face. They're going to talk shit behind you, behind your back. They're going to try to tear you down. It's easier to do that than it is to cultivate a more meaningful life and get something going on for themselves. And honey, child, sweetie darling, make sure you ain't one of them people. So the path that we should be on is one of knowing that as we walk into the world, we get our needs met because we have something to offer, we have something to give. And it's hope, faith, and optimism. Like I say all the time, it takes all of us, for any of us, to get what we need out of this place. So if a person wants to have that scarcity mentality, if a person wants to get constrictive and small-minded, that goes into their fear. Fear To my spirits, they call people that are fearful spiritual crackheads. Literally. When I see a fearful motherfucker who can't stand up for themselves and practice some strength, courage, and wisdom, to me, they might as well be a spiritual crackhead. You ain't got no nothing for me, homie. That crack, you need to go back to your dealer, get a refund. Bounce up out of here. Up out of here with that shenanigans. So the guidance there is a mutual beneficial nourishing needs exchange, okay? And if a person is able to say, like, okay, I'm not able to participate in this space, I'm not able to authentically show up, there's something alive in me that is limitative, and I would like to do an inventory and figure out what that is. And I realize that I articulate things pretty well. Doesn't matter if I'm spitting venom or I'm literally schooling mother effers. I know that my words are, I got some game. I'm a master debater, a cunning linguist. I'm very aware of that. You can articulate that in your own words. They can articulate that in their own words. They can make an authentic, honest, earnest effort. They can be like, wow, I can't participate with this. I'm feeling inadequate, or whatever little maggots say. I don't know. I don't got an idea, but they can make an attempt and figure it out. And if they can't, next, go kiss your mama and jump off a cliff. I mean, because you're useless. If you don't want to fight for your spirit, you have no value but to leech people dry and to be a wonderful example of a maggot parasitic vampire. Bottom line, okay? So the next step here is to figure out what you need to dissolve, what you don't want to build, what you don't want to collaborate on. And most of it is going to be around the story of men. So I'm going to tell you a little secret. I hope the goddess doesn't spank me for this, but you know, she took a break with this whole lover, soulmate, twin flame thing, and she gave us an opportunity with our coworkers and our friends to have drama there so that we could unalign with portions of the soul group, okay? And I call it dead light. So these people with these personality defects like narcissism or literal schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever, I don't need to give it a label, that means that they're just not using their spirit, that they're literally waiting for the devil to come and take their soul. Now, that's pretty harsh. That's what it is. I know we want to believe in the science books, and I know we want to believe in the history books, but that's the white man's colonization, patriarchy, devil-dealing, soul-stealing fucking bullshit. That's what it is. It's designed to distract you while the devil takes your soul, shoves its fist up your butt, and goes on and steals the earth and fucks it over until it's a swamp wasteland. That's what the lizards need to live, a swamp-like wasteland. What do you think they're doing with the chemtrails and all this weather manipulation? The GMO and the foods, the fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, the vaccinations. So if somebody wants to be parasitic and vapid, vassallist, vacant beings, then you got to be able to call a spade a spade. And so she's showing you in your soul groups, your friends, people, places, and things, your friends. She's showing you these soulless entities that need to feed on other beings in order to survive. Honey, if you got a tick, a chigga, a parasite, a leech on you, you better invest some time in some medicine. Go out in the bush, get some eucalyptus, you know, find a natural remedy. It's called vermifuge, when you get rid of the vermin. Because 2 years ago, it was this man is a plan story, and you got a little wise, a little tiny bit wise, a little tiny bit wise on that, right? I would imagine so. Now, most of you, it's going to be right now, men, or not men to date, but mostly, sometimes always, but it's mostly like employers, men at work, okay? And for some of you, it's going to be this hoping, wishing, praying, conjuring up, marinating in the hate from the 2 years ago that you got slapped across the face and disrespected from a man. You still holding on to that, you ain't got no clue yet. Now, there is love waiting on you, but the first step is love for yourself. That's really where it begins. because it's a spiritual love. Where's this love of lover? Where's this life that you want? Doesn't matter what it is that you want, person, place, or thing. It's at a higher vibration. So if you can align with yourself, it means you are sacrificing your soul, period. If you're looking outside of yourself for answers, if you're in your left brain, you might as well be a rich white man designed to destroy and provide no value other than distraction and degradation of this physical, material existence. Stay out of your left brain if you're trying to get to God, honey. That's how it works. People want to argue with me. I say, fuck you, go home, kiss your mama, and jump off a cliff. Time to get to business, y'all. I ain't playing no games. Get your life right. And I'm not qualified to judge. I spot it because I got it. I had to have my ass hanging out there too many times just to get a little clue. Now it's time to get the big clue. What's going to happen now? Well, the next step here is there's going to be changes in the soul group. There's going to be changes in love. It's in the death house, and it's the death house is the death card is right next to it. So we're running out of patience, we're running out of time, we're running out of patience and fortitude, and we're running out of the option to ignore our guides, the option to ignore our ancestors. So we've got to go ahead and allow the release in people, places, and things around us, or we're not going to get the picture. We're not going to get the story. We're not going to be let off the cycle, and we're going to be doomed to repeat a lot of lessons that are going to be even more painful next time. It was easier to go through these karmic lessons with lovers because we were hoping, wishing, praying. And it's so much easier to change in love situations because it's somewhat harmonic, right? But when it's with a friend and when it's with a coworker, it's a lot more painful, and we don't know what the reward is difficult to quantify. So, shots fired, I know, y'all, but I ain't done. So if I just fast forward this a little quick minute, it's so detox. You've got to release. You've got to release people, places, and things from your life that don't matter. My findings. You're stuck on stupid. There's no way around it. There are secret energies, secret forces at play, hindering you, blocking you because you're unwilling to release. Something has ended, something has died, and you're refusing to let it go. It's like it's easier to give birth to new children than it is to resurrect the dead. Children can be actual babies, could be opportunities, could be potential mates. When an opportunity slips through your fingers, it wasn't for you. You got to go on to the next. If you sit there hoping, wishing, praying, trying to yearn and conjure up what done passed you by, how is that evolution and growth? How is that higher vibration? How is that ascension? Now, it's the gate is either closed to you or the door has been open and you've been unwilling, unable to move on. And the gate is closed because there's things you need to detox. So you can't get into heaven with that stinking thinking. You can't get into heaven with that nasty demonic vibration. What is a demon? It is an entity that is soulless, that is born in the dark, and it will not pass judgment, which means it won't be purified in the fire, and it will turn to ash. You hear that whole story about Ma'at and the feather and the weighing the heart against the feather, and if you don't win, if your heart's not lighter than the feather, then some being, it's the little crocodile-headed dog, chimera, kubura, the Kabura demon will eat your soul, and basically it'll be ash. That's why you see the people with the bindi, and all that other fun stuff. What I'm saying is, if you don't attach yourself and align yourself with things that are eternal, things that are sovereign, things that are serene, what will happen is, you won't be able to move forward. You won't be able to ascend, and that's what this is all about. So I'm just going to say it to you point blank. You deal with the pain of discipline, or you deal with the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons, and it's really up to you. You can do whatever you want to do. But discernment, you've got to detox with judgment. You've got to let things go. You've got to dissolve. There's energy physically manifesting in your life right now that you've allowed the cycles to manifest that way, and you've got to unalign with certain things or practice your discernment and practice your judgment to dissolve, dilute, diminish some of those physical manifestations. Translation: you've got to shift around your beliefs. You've got to look at your life as more empowered. You've got to look at it in your hands. If you don't have self-governance, if you don't have self-mastery, you don't have autonomy, for instance, in control over your life. Other people are thinking for you, other people are deciding for you, other people are living for you. And you may think you're doing it all yourself, but if you're always looking outside of yourself for answers, looking at what he's doing, why, who he's with, looking at what she's doing and what, looking at what people are going to think and say and feel and do about you and your life, honey, if they ain't feeding you, fucking you, financing you, don't be messing with them. Don't be thinking about them when you're living your life. That's what you got to dilute, diminish. You've got to detox. You've got to dissolve. This is transmute, coagulate, alchemize, meaning take two things that are massively different and merge them into one, like good and bad. Well, you're human. So, of course, alchemy. But this is like, nope, dissolve, destroy, send it back, get a refund. And it comes through your judgment. King of Swords is judgment. So I'm sure I just put a bomb in your spirit and you're welcome. I want to just brief you really quickly, honey. Look at the show notes because you're going to need to do your work around this. This is briefing number 33. And the tableau for this, if you want to do your own work on what I've been talking about, check the show notes. This is briefing number 33. I'm not going to publish the briefing until tonight. But the tableau is already online. I'm using the same tableau all month. So we're going to have these energies with us, and I'm going to speak to you about them on a weekly basis until I feel that it's time to move out of the energy. And there'll be times when I'm yelling at you, and there'll be times when I'm hugging you and cheering for you. And this is just the time that mama needs to spank some booty. Okay, so if you were somehow afraid or scared because I had to use some strong words with you, then unsubscribe. The fucking thumbs down is some bullshit. It means you're a pansy-ass little motherfucker and you can't live your life right. And if me talking about caucasoid and melanated people somehow aggravated your spirit and your soul, it means the devil has his hand up your ass. Because this is some fucking bullshit. It really is. It is time to stop worrying about other people and what they're thinking. It is time to stop looking outside of the fuck. Go inside. Go inside. Meditate. What does your spirit say? Instead of looking up on Google. Go inside. Turn into yourself. What does your spirit say? What does your higher self say? What does your ancestors say? You're looking for a man, he's waiting for you at a higher vibration. Project into your higher self. Project into the future. Project into the higher vibrational aspect of the timeline. Borrow some of his energy to get a leg up if you need to. I love this when people are like, You have 5 freaking obstacles to the one solution. I just gave you an archangel. I just gave you an angel of light, a way out of hell. And all you can do is talk about your hurt feelings. Girl, take your hurt feelings, transmute that energy into burning desire to get your life right. Take your stinking thinking and transmute that into a burning desire to dig yourself out of the gutter. It doesn't matter if you end up with bloody fingernails. Guess what you got, honey? Your spiritual self back. Lock it down. Get it together. It's been an interesting week, y'all, and I'm just done. I am done. I will take the devil by the balls and I will rip them out and I will feed it to the closest pit bull. Fuck out of here with that shit. The ability to love openly and freely and to open yourself up without reservation and allow the wounding to happen, that's what makes you the Lamb of God. But the strength and the conviction and the courage to move on, to pick your head up high after the wounding, after the disrespect, after the cold water in the face, the punch in the gut, the kick in the spirit, that is the lion in you. And if you're out of alignment with these concepts and ideas, you got your work cut out for you, and it's fine. That's where you're starting, and it's great, because then you know where your journey begins. And if you're lost and dazed and confused because there's just so much and you don't know how to handle it, again, it means you're outside of yourself. Go back inside. Get inside yourself. In Voodoo, in Africa, in the primordial seas of time where creation began, not this new world bullshit. Not your little fucking Google and all these stupid little books and all this new age fuckery. When life began on this realm, we called it going to your intuition. Here's how it goes. Instinct, intuition, intellect, identity. Intellect is your higher self. It's like the real intuition. The actual intuition is your heart letting you know what resonates with you. And then your instinct is your ego. That's your lower 3 chakras. And if I break it down for you, I will blow your mind. Yes, you've had it all wrong up until now, most of you. So I'm going to leave you with this. This did not go how I planned. I didn't plan to come in here and just shots fired, throwing mics at people. But I'll do it again. I cannot sit by and watch beautiful people with gorgeous ass melanin or souls. If you're a person with a soul, I cannot watch you throw your life away. And I'm not going to sit there and listen and co-sign the bullshit. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Mama says, and Mama is Sekhmet. Mama says, spiritual perspectives only. Anybody who's like, oh, wait, I'm suffering, I'm wounded, I'm martyred, I'm sacrificing, I'm surrendering to entities outside of myself, not the universe, entities outside of myself. Take that time, look at it from a different perspective, and address it from a spiritual standpoint. Now, let's pull an oracle card. Oh, girl, I can't make this shit up. I can't. And I do need to work on my cursing, but it wasn't going to happen today. Okay, so I've done my divination. I'm just going to toot. So when you get your name, you can talk some shit to me. But until then, so authority and diplomacy. Command your spirit. If an imposter spirit comes towards you because you have a soul and they want to steal it, command your spirits. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am not here for the fuckery. All beings not in alignment with my God, sovereign, free self, I banish you and I forbid your return. That's how it works. All beings not in alignment with my God, sovereign, free self, I forbid your presence here. If you are not in alignment with my conscious ascension for the betterment of humanity, I banish you from this space. I forbid your return. Now, here's why. There are entities and people around you that want to bring you down. And the only way they can compete in a game with you is when you hit the ball back. So they're going to want to tear you down from your throne. Like I said, if somebody's trying to take you down, they're already beneath you. They're going to want to get you into ego. They're going to want to get you into fights. They're going to want to nitpick you. They're going to want to get you into that jealousy vibration, that fear vibration, you know. And honor and good luck is what collectively we all need. And red tells you that there's enemies around. And the Griffin is interesting because it's like the Melchizedek, the fallen ones, the Nephilim, all that, you know, fallen in Garden of Eden, the whole story, the whole little Bible things right there. Griffin. You have the eagle, you have the lion, you have all those chimera energies, the hybridized. So understand that it's about ascension. Oftentimes you get wounded and you die, meaning the veil gets ripped off from under you, the illusion goes away, the innocence gets stolen, and then you get reborn. Bigger, brighter, better. Higher vibration, higher frequency. And you do need strength, courage, and wisdom. I did tell it to you. So what does that mean? There are people watching this video. There are people out there right now that cannot show up to their own lives. They cannot participate in their own experience. I mean, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, they're soulless entities. White people. Has no soul. That's what the Matrix movie is about. They want to take the blue pill every day. They want to lie to themselves, lull themselves to sleep, and pretend like somebody else is the problem. Now, there are options for you. And the options would be so just because you don't have melanin doesn't mean you don't have a soul. It's not about white or black, but you'll hear what you want to hear and you'll get offended when you want to get offended. I'll tell it to you that way. You've got to go through the transformation. And see, when you put yourself out there and you don't know how to find your light in the darkness, you got to be like the addict. I want to find the light, but I don't know how. Step number 1. In order to solve a problem, you got to give it a name. It's called diagnosis. So if you're open to guidance, the guidance will show up, and you need to practice the autonomy, franchise, and control. You need to practice the discernment. You need to have proper judgment to know what aligns with you. Because if you are just so overwhelmed that you'll pick the first direction that you get given, that might be a little bit challenging. But then again, that's your own karma and that's your own wounding. So if you're stupid enough to join a cult, or if you're low vibrational, that's just your karma. So if you find a bad guru and you follow false light, that's your karma, because the wound is where the light shines through. I guarantee you, the next time you pick a guru, you'll have some discernment and some proper judgment about it. So again, love is an energy that is highly misunderstood. So love is fidelity to unity, to oneness, meaning returning back to source, no longer seeing separateness. So if a person comes to me and they don't have a soul and they're non-melanated and they're sitting there trying to tear me down, they're sitting there trying to make me their problem, I become the face of the problems, they're trying to literally, I had a mother effer a couple weeks ago try to take over my whole situation. Just come into my life out of nowhere, try to take over my whole situation. And when I didn't raise my voice, I didn't cuss at him. And I was just like, well, this is what we agreed to. Well, this is how things work here. Well, this is what I'm open and available to. Well, this is getting a little weird. You're bouncing all over the place. Would you remind me of what your objective is? What can I actually authentically help you with? Okay, I see that you're making that observation. That's real. That's real for you. That doesn't align with my truth. What can I actually help you with? I kept repeating that, and then he just threatened to call the police on me. It's my house. This is my business. You are a visitor here. So that's a demon. Demon. Lizard person. Lizard person. But it was like, okay, well, what can I help you with? That's not my truth. What can I help you with? That's not my truth. What can I help you with? Meaning, I'm not going to align with that because that's hidden in the shadows, but I have compassion for you and your ignorance. How can I align with you? What can I help you with? What can I help you with? What can I help? So love can be strong. Love can be. I see the thumbs down. So, you can align with your authentic self and you can be open and available to other people because you cannot be loving to another person if you're broken. That's not real love. That is gonna give your power away. And here's why. Here's why. Jealousy leads to downfall. So what they're jealous of is your spirit. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the story because we're at the end of the sermon. It's an hour. I'm going to do another video today so that the last video on the channel is not some curse storm and shots fired and everything. You know, it sucks because sometimes things have to die. You get in a fight, you learn the truth about somebody, the illusion is no longer, and all of a sudden you just have the truth. And a lot of times the mask gets pulled out from over your face, right? And I have this issue a lot, especially men. They'll buddy up to me, they'll keep trying to get things out of me, and then one day, usually in a group of people, they'll think they learned enough about me, my weaknesses, and then they'll bring them all out at one time. Where you're this, 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 and then it's like, I feel like that Beyonce song. You must not know about me, nothing about Priestess G. And it's not, I can have another you in a minute. It's like, I can make sure you get reincarnated as the asshole hair on a donkey. Bitch, who the fuck you fucking with? Gross, funny, haha. I can't do that. But it's, it's like, you must not know me, right? And it's like, okay, I have to release what it was that I was working on with you. I wanted to cohabitate with you. I wanted to love you. I wanted to let you into my heart. I wanted to be vulnerable with you. I wanted to be a part of my tribe. And now you're just the period on a page, next page in the chapter. Part of my past. I gotta bury you now. You get put to death. You've served your purpose. It's time to see what's on the other side of that purification wall. Put you in the fire. And here's the lesson for me, and this is for you as well. When you stand in your power, it will terrify demons. And it's your power that's going to make them fight you initially. And then when they see your real power, not all the stinking thinking they have, the little things they think they can nitpick, the devil does not want us doing this work. I can tell. And it hurts and it's painful, but it's just the journey of life. Like I said, climb one mountain, go to the next. Climb one mountain, go to the next. And see, like I said, go inside. Go into your intuition. When things outside of you are topsy-turvy, meditate. Because we have this impatience. We have a higher knowledge. We see from a bigger, brighter, better perspective. And so we get impatience trying to manipulate things because we have this knowledge. We have this... We're woke, right? We're conscious. All right. But understand, we are humans. That consciousness is our spirit trying to anchor itself into the physical. Okay. Now, here's a little secret there. You've got to work through the spiritual. You've got to work with your guides. You've got to work with your ancestors, or you've at least got to work with your higher self. And so there's a balance that comes through this. And the balance is you got to take the good and the bad and the ugly because life itself is balance. Example, you're in a human vessel. You are spirit merged with the flesh. You are both a deva, a heavenly being. If you have a soul, you were made sacred by the Creator. If you have a body, something in the physical created you. That's why the Nephilim are there, because they're light mixed with dark. Fairies or humans are a little bit angelic and a little bit demonic in their nature. Why? Because we consume, we have to eat, we have physical urges, we feel lust, all these things. Now, the wonderful thing about it is that Earth itself, or the Garden of Eden, will allow us to learn. So the universe is a university, and the earth itself is the heart of the universe. Now, I learned from one of my mentors that the definition of conflict is two people in the same county. So if you have one being with spirit, fire, and then you have another being with spirit, fire, when they come together, it's going to be friction. And it's either going to be chaos or it's going to be union. And so that's what sex is. Coming to know, if you look in the Bible, coming to know somebody is the willingness to merge your energy with them to come to a higher octave. Okay, so that's this balance that we speak of here. You're going to have to deal with white, you're going to have to deal with black, you're going to have to deal with green, you're going to have to deal with good, you're going to have to deal with, you're going to have to deal with good, you're going to have to deal with bad, you're going to have to deal with ugly, you're going to have to. And see, neutral detached observation, the ability to just go on the quest, go with the flow, not be addicted to any outcome. You know, I don't know why I'm compelled to share this, but I'll just put this up there right now. You know, when I've done a lot of living in the last couple of years. I had an issue with a narcissist, and I really learned a lot from this person, and that's what gave me my spirit back, because I had this whole, you know, I'm a bulldog in the boardroom, I'm a bitch in the bedroom little concept and idea of like, well, I can go out there and I can make my life, but then I find a man or I find a partner and I'm weak, I'm submissive, I'm compromising, not of my behavior to harmonize the situation, I'm compromising of myself to keep this narcissist on my arm, right? So that I had to grow out of that, and it took a lot of work. And then I also worked on my 12-step relationship to the fellowship. And it was like, I'm not a broken addict with a disease. I don't need to tell myself those things. I am a spiritual being working a spiritual practice, not a spiritual perfection, a spiritual practice. So sometimes I'm going to fall down. I'm not always going to be perfect. And my propensity, my addiction, my desire to the emotionality that people, places, and things create for me will bring suffering into my life if I don't have neutral detached observation. So if I'm having a craving for union, if I'm having a craving for companionship, if I'm having a craving for closeness, what that means is there's something I need to give myself. I need to fill up my cup again. And I do it with the divine grace of the goddess now. And sometimes she comes to me in a beautiful human being that I can dance with for the night, spend the weekend with, and then go on about my business. And when she feels that my work has been doing really well, she can send somebody to walk with me for a little bit. And there are people out there that get to walk with somebody for the rest of their life, but it's when they're at a high vibration. You're going to continue to manifest karmic experiences when you're in this vibration right here, the victim mentality. Because your instinct will bring you towards more pain. You're flanked in this instinct by what it is you choose to see. So the sparkling jewel is going to be your vibration. That's the sparkling jewel. That's what you see. So if your vibration is wounded, you're going to attract more wounding. If your vibration is liberation, ascension, you may get wounded, but it'll lift you up. It won't bring you down. It won't keep you down. It won't keep you in the mind frame perspective of continued wounding. Okay, so like I say all the time, the wound is where the light shines through. If you're unable to take your experience and ask the universe what that experience came to teach you, you're doomed to repeat that experience. So a lot of us are walking around saying, wait, I don't wanna. We had a moment of crisis, and then we have calm, and so we're consistently looking for comfort. We never want to experience that pain again. Well, it's actually like if that pain starts coming through, it's data. It's just feedback. It's simply information. Where from your higher self can you unalign with that experience then? Not run, not chase, not compromise yourself, not externalize your power. Where from your higher self can you unalign with that consciousness experience? Because let's read the blind spot here, because then you're like this. Okay, that's exactly what's going on. This versus this. If something comes into your heart chakra and you don't like it, you don't even say, ew, that's nasty. Ew, that's ugly. Ew, that's demonic. You say, fascinating. This doesn't really resonate with me. This doesn't feel good to me. This isn't exactly what I anticipated myself getting. Do I need to think about my expectations? Do I have unrealistic expectations? Or am I just not in the right space? Versus like, oh, the sky is falling. Crisis, crisis. Poor me. Why me? Why does this always happen to me? I'm a victim. All you do is unalign with it. If it doesn't resonate, just unalign with it. Move it out of your space. Go on to the next experience. It'll teach you what it needs to teach you. So despondence is when the goddess is trying to bless you. She comes, she dances, she peeks out at you, she unveils herself, and you're like, there was a story when I was young. I worked at a financial planning firm. I worked in finance for about a decade, and we had this story of this one woman where like, it's kind of like you give her $1 million check and she's like, why can't you write it out to cash? There's this I in my name. It doesn't have a dot on it. Oh my gosh. The bank is 5 miles away and I don't really want to get on the bus and drive to the bank. Put the money in the bank and shut your mouth. So yeah, you're going to find your soulmate when you're in a place of safety, when you're in a place of alignment. If you're like outside of yourself and you're not looking inside, but you're looking outside of yourself, that's when things get bad. Because you're going to attract your vibration. So do you know why you attract a karmic soulmate? When you repress and you suppress your authentic self, then you begin to project your shadow self onto other people, places, and things. And that's when the universe manifests a karmic partner for you so they can mirror that back to you. And you should have the wherewithal as a spiritual being to own your own experience and own the fact that you manifested or attracted that into your life. But we're living in the new world. We're conditioned and programmed to sue people, to blame people, punish people, victimize people, vilify people. And so you do need a way with the universe. You need to see, I'm hearing that song, Private Eyes, they're watching you. They see your every move. Hall & Oates, Daryl Hall and John Oates. Yeah, Hall & Oates. So you've got to have a spiritual eye about you. You have to have your own way about things. It can't come through how it should go. It's got to come through you go, the way that you go, the way that you navigate, the way that you walk through the world. Because ultimately, you don't want to end up in this place. See, what I'm seeing right now is a person holding their wounding, carrying it around with you. That's the Bag Lady song. You gonna hurt your back. The back is the spine, the back is the ascension. And you can't get with the flow, you can't accelerate in order to ascend because you're way down from all the stuff that happened way back when. And you're not that person that you were way back then. So why are you worrying about what happened to you way back when you're a different person today? So don't carry that with you. Use your heart as a guide and your mind as a witness. And when you're closing your heart, all you can accept is lower vibrational things. That's all that's open to you when your heart is closed. How is God going to get through if the gate is closed? So you are being guided through this by your ancestors. But you got to look up. You got to go within. You've got to go from the higher self in order to reach that energy. And then that's when you're going to be veiled and protected. I'm hearing that Sabrina song from, or I don't know if you were younger and watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but there was that character Libby, and there was some type of talent show at the high school, and Sabrina didn't want to perform, so Libby took over and performed, and she sang the song, "There's a little bit of you and me, a little bit of me and everything." And so every time I see this card, I think about that. There's a little bit of good in the bad, there's a little bit of bad in the good, and that's how you have definition. You've got to use your lower self and your higher self in unison in order to get through the gates and get back through that portal to go into the divine. And down here on earth, you're going to have to use some of your stinking thinking and some of your graceful thinking in order to liberate yourself. So I use my stinking thinking to take an inventory. I told you about that guy who I had an obstacle with, and he really went hard, and then he threatened to call the cops on me. And why? Because I'm standing up for myself? I'm not even cursing at you right now. I'm literally saying, this is me, that's on you, what can I actually help you with? Translation, when are you going to get to something actionable? Translation is what I was saying. And he's like, well, I'm going to call the cops on you. Are you really that parasitic? So, sometimes you got to dig into your lower self because you got to slap a person back. Sometimes you gotta get a little hoopty. You gotta get a little bit low chakra. Red chakra means protecting yourself. So you gotta use both arsenals. If you can't work in the dark, you're never gonna own all of your light. But see, that's what's gonna protect you and shield you and veil you and put you in divine grace. So I'm gonna leave it there, because Mama done told you everything she needs to tell you. And there's a flash sale going on all the way at the end of the video. I should have said this in the beginning of the video. There's a flash sale going on. The coupon is in the show notes if you want to book a consultation or an assessment. And wow. Okay. All right. So the link is in the show notes, and it's actually a really good flash sale going on. I just want to wish you a glorious day. I want to wish you harmony, beauty, serenity, and grace. And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to do a shadow briefing. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to do a shadow briefing. There's just no way around that. I've got to. So take good care of yourself. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Das vidanya. Au revoir. Sign.